8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. It has been emphasized that Sri Lanka will follow the non-aligned policies when dealing internationally. The Finance Minister conducts talks with ambassadors of 6 countries. More than 11.7 million people have been vaccinated. The Ministry of Health says 2,150 more persons were tested positive for the virus today. In foreign news, fighting rages as Taliban besiege 3 key cities. The Finance Minister met the ambassadors of 6 countries. Accordingly, he met the ambassadors of Japan, the Netherlands, Malaysia, Indonesia, Qatar and Afghanistan at the Ministry of Finance and discussed various future activities. Japanese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Akira Sugiyama, said that Japan will give its support for future development programs by Sri Lanka under 5 sections. Several development programs are already being implemented in Sri Lanka under Japanese investment. The new Calonia Bridge project, the second phase of the development project of the Bandaranaike International Airport, are among them. The Japanese ambassador also emphasized that Japan is willing to provide assistance for the implementation of the renewable energy program. Japan is also expected to introduce a digital technology program, the Rupavahini telecasting program. Meanwhile, the ambassador of Afghanistan, Ashraf Haidari, said that he will pay his gratitude to the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa for providing support to his country. He expressed his views that his country will provide the support needed for Sri Lanka continuously. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa said that Sri Lanka is following the non-aligned policies under the leadership of the President when acting internationally. He also said that the government is dedicated to exchange views, friendly and mutual understanding with all countries. The government says the COVID vaccination program is being implemented successfully. The vaccination program is being conducted in 317 centres covering 22 districts today as well. So far, more than 11.7 million people have been vaccinated. The first dose of the vaccine has been given to more than 9 million people. The 2 doses of the vaccine have been taken by more than 2 million people. Meanwhile, a consignment of 728,460 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine donated by Japan under the COVAX facility arrived in Sri Lanka this evening. The shipment had been airlifted from Japan on Sri Lankan Airlines flight UL 455 earlier today. Japan may be providing a similar amount of coronavirus jabs of the same brand to Sri Lanka next week. This batch of vaccines is set to arrive in the country on the 7th of August. The circular on recalling public servants for work from Monday has been published by the Secretary to the Ministry of Public Services, Provincial Council and Local Government J.J. Ratnasiri. The government yesterday decided to call all state sector employees back to work from next month, and the Secretary to the President, P.B. Jayasundara, officially informed of this decision to Mr. Ratnasiri. The decision was taken with the intention of giving priority to restore normalcy in the public service, as the majority of public servants have been vaccinated against COVID-19. In addition, all circulars have been issued permitting work from home arrangements and limited number of staff members to be present at the workplace on a rotation basis in a bid to control the spread of COVID-19 have been revoked by the new circular. Mr. Ratnasiri noted that state sector employees are required to adhere to health guidelines including maintaining social distancing, wearing face masks and washing hands regularly. State Minister of Transport Dilum Amanugama says interprovincial bus and train services will resume from tomorrow in compliance with health guidelines. However, the public transport services will be up and running only in the morning and evening, the State Minister noted. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. Minister Kehelia Rambukwella says that an investigation report has revealed that 96% of the COVID deaths are due to persons who have not taken the COVID eradication vaccine. He made this remark at a media briefing held in Kandy today. The Minister of Environment, Mahinda Amaravira, states that lunch sheets made of non-biodegradable polythene will be banned from tomorrow. The minister said that the manufacture, transportation and the sale of all types of lunch sheets made out of non-biodegradable plastic will be banned in the country from tomorrow onwards. Moreover, joint raids will be conducted by the Central Environmental Authority, the Consumer Affairs Authority and the Sri Lanka Police to apprehend those who continue to manufacture, transport or sell such products from tomorrow, Minister Amaravira added. The Environment Minister emphasized that the decision was reached taking into account the adverse effects to the environment and the health of the public due to non-biodegradable lunch sheets. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The Ministry of Health says 2,150 more persons were tested positive for the virus today. All new cases are associated with the New Year COVID-19 cluster. The new development has pushed the total number of infections confirmed in the country to date to 308,812. According to official data, more than 27,000 infected persons are currently under medical care at hospitals and treatment centres across the island. Meanwhile, the number of total recoveries reached 277,118 earlier today, as 1,906 more patients have recovered from the virus. That was the main news story. Watchlight follows.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On to Watchlight. It is now compulsory to carry the card which has been issued to certify that the card carrier had received the COVID vaccination. The COVID Eradication Committee has paid attention to this. The card is compulsory to enter state institutions and supermarkets. The government has already discussed this with the health sector. That came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow. The headlines. Fighting rages as Taliban besiege 3 key cities. Japan reports over 12,000 new coronavirus cases. The Federation of Bangladesh Chambers of Commerce and Industry open all factories, banks in industrial areas from tomorrow. Fighting is raging around 3 major cities in southern and western Afghanistan as Taliban militants seek to seize them from the government forces. Taliban fighters have entered parts of Herat, Lakhas, Gah and Kandahar. They have made rapid gains in rural areas since it was announced almost all foreign troops would leave by September. But the fate of these key cities would be crucial amid fears of a humanitarian crisis and how long government forces will be able to hold out. The fundamentalist Islamist militia is already thought to have captured up to half of all Afghans' territory, including lucrative border crossings with Iran and Pakistan. Health authorities across Japan confirmed 12,341 new cases of the coronavirus today. The national daily count hit a record high for 4 days in a row. By prefecture, Tokyo reported 4,058 cases, Kanagawa 1,580, Osaka 1,040. 10 out of Japan's 47 prefectures, including Tokyo, Okinawa, and Kyoto, recorded their highest daily tally. The Federation of Bangladesh Chambers of Commerce and Industry has called upon the government to allow them to reopen all types of industries and factories for the sake of investment, employment, and to maintain the supply chain. FBCCI President Jasim Uddin made the call today, a day after the government has decided to keep all the export-oriented factories and industries open from the 1st of August amid the strict lockdown. He also urged the government to reopen all types of banks in the industrial areas from the 1st of August, maintaining the health guidelines. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Fighting rages as Taliban besiege 3 key cities. Japan reports over 12,000 new coronavirus cases. The Federation of Bangladesh Chambers of Commerce and Industry open all factories, banks in industrial areas from tomorrow. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Several roads in the Galle district will be developed. 30 million rupees will be spent for the development work. The aim of this project is to develop rural roads and to encourage production-oriented work. Minister Ramesh Patirana said that the program will be implemented under the Saubhagya Dakma program. That was development news. A look at sports news next.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
On to sports news. Sprinter Yupon Abekon recorded a time of 10.32 seconds while taking part in the Heat 3 for the men's 100 meters event. He came in 6th following Zi Zhenye from China. However, he failed to qualify for the final events. He was in the 42nd place out of 60 sprinters who participated in the event. That was sports news. Business news will follow.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Coffee Export Processing Village program has commenced in Nuwara Eliya under the patronage of Minister Bandula Gunawardena. The program is being implemented by the Sri Lanka Export Development Board. The coffee production process will be carried out targeting the export market while identifying the suitable areas for it. The first village program will be conducted in Nuwara Eliya, Kandy, Matale, Kagalla and the Badula district. It is expected to earn a $10 billion income by the year 2025. That was business news. Economic news will follow.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The central bank says treasury bills valued at 1,04,600 rupees will be auctioned. The relevant auction will be held on the 4th of next month. The treasury bills issued expire in 91, 182 and 364 days. Biddings are being called from primary dealers of government securities. That was economic news, and finally we take a look at the weather reports.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Nuwara Eliya and Kandy districts. A few showers will occur in the Western province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva and Eastern province during the evening or at night. Fairly strong winds up to 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected on the western slopes of the Central Hills and in the Hambantota district. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. It has been emphasized that Sri Lanka will follow the non-aligned policies when dealing internationally. The finance minister conducts talks with ambassadors of 6 countries. More than 11.7 million people have been vaccinated. The Ministry of Health says 2,150 more persons were tested positive for the virus today. And in foreign news, fighting rages as Taliban besiege 3 key cities. That ends tonight's news broadcast.